Who are you gonna call? Beetlejuice. No, not Beetlejuice.
Yeah, you could.
Could call
You've
Beetlejuice.
said it twice. 3 times.
Oh no.
Now you're boned.
Beetlejuice. Ah, no.
I don't know what happens if you say it a 4th time. Nothing.
Nothing.
He's just like, what?
I'm already here.
What do you want? It's already showtime. Showtime happened.
The juice is already loose.
But the juice is loose.
You're just being repetitive now.
Hello and welcome to the Movie Men Podcast.
We are the B Team Part 2.0.
I feel like it's what? It's been
Because we're not there's not the news. But.
Yeah. It's been a moment, I think, since we've explained what in the hell the B Team. So the podcast started for years, just Aaron and I. Pete and I.
I didn't know Aaron started it.
No, it was me, Pete, and Aaron's wife, actually. It was in far more episodes than Aaron was. But me and Pete and I, the king and I, and you had guested a couple of times, Star Wars and
over the years,
True Lies, and
you never did True Lies, did you?
You did.
I wasn't.
Did we do
it.
True Lies?
Not with me.
What did we do?
I don't know.
I had to watch
We
True
did
Lies
Face
or
Off.
something.
Was that before
We
or
did
after
Face
I
Off.
was
Yeah.
officially on?
And so then anyways, then Carl joined the podcast in more capacity than normal, and we needed a name for him being a part of it. True Lies. Do we not do True Lies?
You and Pete did True Lies. I think I remember listening to the episode, but I was not part of it.
That seems weird. Why would we not have you be a part of True Lies?
Because you're dicks.
When did that happen? 2022.
Not that long ago.
So it's just as you were joining the podcast. Anyways, we're here, as you can tell from the title and the thumbnail of this episode, reviewing a full spoiler review. So if you have not seen it, back down.
Or if you want to know how it is before you spend your hard-earned dollars.
We're here reviewing Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. We're going to kick things off with, we literally just got back from seeing it.
The idea
We did
with our better halves.
Yeah, we did a double date.
Did double date. No
And
dinner.
No dinner. No.
Just a movie.
Well,
and a nice drive.
Me and my date had popcorn.
Oh, well, yeah, we did not. No. We looked at the prices of the candies and we were like, $8.50 for candies? Nope.
We had a gift card. And so we,
that'll do it.
Yeah. Let's do some initial impressions.
Sure.
I'll go first.
Did you, hang on, for initial impressions, or as part of initial impressions, like recent watching of older Ghostbusters?
All 3 within this continuity, like not including the females Ghostbuster.
There was a females Ghostbusters?
Shut up. So Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, and Ghostbusters Afterlife, all within the last week and a half.
Nice.
Yeah. Super fresh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just seen Afterlife this weekend.
Okay.
And we didn't, when we kind of nailed down the date we were going to do this, and then you were saying that you and yours were going, and I was like, oh, well, I don't want to be a third wheel. Can mine come? My better half
Can
come?
mine?
Can mine come too? Can she tag along?
Yeah.
And so by that point, there was really only the weekend to catch her up. To
get caught up, yeah.
And
has she not seen the first 2?
She probably has.
Oh, I hope so.
But man, she's got this gift or curse, depending how you look at it, where, so we just saw Frozen Empire.
Yeah, like just now.
Give it
out an hour ago.
Give it 3 to 6 months. She could watch that movie again and not remember any of it.
Man, that sounds
right. Like,
yeah, I don't know if that's a bless or a curse.
Depending on the epicness of it, she could be like, halfway through and be like, oh, I remember that. Okay, I know what's going on and what's going to happen. But like going into it, well, like I watch a lot of films with her and she's like, I don't know if I've seen this.
Right.
If I have, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we didn't have time to watch everything. So I kind of gave her a quick synopsis of the first two. We watched Afterlife, which actually does a great job of kind of filling the gaps if you haven't. Well, you miss a lot of like little member berries,
but it retraces a lot of the first film's steps, right?
A little bit.
Same antagonist.
Well, because of the plot, the way the plot is set up, in that these kids are uncovering.
They don't know either.
Yeah, they don't know what either. So they're uncovering and learning about the Ghostbusters of New York. It really is a great way to introduce the franchise to people if they haven't seen the other two. Yeah. Which, I mean, you should watch the other two first, but I didn't have time.
Okay.
So.
Are you ready for my initial impression?
Hit me.
Wildly disappointing. Just wildly disappointing. A couple of... just, what do you...
Wow. Normally, this is the first time that's been me. Normally, it's you. It's silence now.
Is it your wife sending you pictures of what you're missing out on?
Yep.
Had you gone home instead of...
She says, sorry, I didn't kiss you better.
Is that actually? Oh my gosh. Why, did you bitch?
I did. She gave me this like quick little peck and then turned around to get in the car. And I was like, what are you doing? What was that? Give me a better kiss.
Okay. I'm not going to say the film was trash, but it was wildly disappointing. There are a couple of great moments, but I have some fundamental issues with this film. Not things that I think are like, well, maybe one or two. Not things where I'm like, oh, like that was a Ghostbuster sin. Like it's clearly that's not consistent with. Not necessarily things like that. Just a couple of things where, at least for my viewing purposes, my enjoyment level really missed the mark. Really missed the mark. And I think it's a major, 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 major step down from what they achieved with Afterlife. So, yeah. And we'll break down all of that.
Yeah, okay.
But what are your thoughts? And just initial kind of vague.
Well, on a scale of
that part comes later.
Overwhelmed to underwhelmed. I would say I'm whelmed. I was whelmed, but I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, probably, like you, there were a few things I was like, why are they doing this? Oh, this aspect isn't hitting home the way it did with Afterlife. So yeah, I had some things where I walked away from it not enjoying it as much as Afterlife.
Right.
But okay. I still think it's really good in terms of kind of the franchise of Ghostbusters.
Apologize to the listener for punching your microphone.
I'm sorry I punched my microphone. I'm sorry, Brady. You're going to have to edit that out.
I won't.
So you say you don't do a lot of editing, but then you end up doing a bunch of editing.
Yeah. Well, it's... Yeah,
Anyway. So, yeah. It seems like... I'll say this. It's a sequel.
It's a forquel.
It's a sequel to... It's a legacy sequel to a legacy...
It's a sequel to a legacy sequel.
Yeah. Like, we got Ghostbusters 1, we got Ghostbusters 2 in the early 80s and early 90s. 84 and 86? No, 88. When does the second one come
87?
out? 87? Was it 90s? No.
89.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it was 89.
So, like, we got those two. We never saw a third one. Afterlife is...
Well, unless you play the video game.
Yeah. But that one's technically not continuity. I don't know. Dan Aykroyd says it's essentially the third film. Yeah, but we've never seen, like, they don't really pay homage to the video game.
No.
Right, or else there'd be a fifth Ghostbuster running around that we haven't seen.
Yeah, well, he died. He got killed off.
Apparently.
Shortly after.
Yeah, so as far as, like, a legacy sequel, which is a pretty new term to cinema, because we're in a day and age where everything that was popular 20 years ago gets a remake or a sequel. And if it's a sequel, usually most of the times it's considered a legacy sequel because the actors are old or dead and they can't. So they're trying to introduce fresh blood, which Afterlife did. And as far as legacy sequels go, is probably one of, if not the best legacy sequel we've gotten so far. We'll see what happens with Beetlejuice. So that would be, even though it's a true sequel, it's more of a legacy sequel, I would say.
You're saying Afterlife is the best legacy sequel we've gotten?
I'm saying that, but I don't have a list in front of me. I'm sure if we bring up a list of sequels that are from
Listen, I'm not here. I'm not
80s.
here. I'm not here to disagree. But I'm curious.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You got a list in front of you? Look, turn your laptop a bit so I can see it.
I mean, Top Gun Maverick is up there.
I still haven't seen it.
although it's not a movie.
So I haven't seen it, so I can't add that to that list. But
although it's not a movie, Cobra Kai is technically a legacy sequel.
Yeah. Yeah, but I wouldn't. Yeah, that one's a tough one because it's a TV show and not a movie.
The divisive among us, Force Awakens was essentially a legacy sequel. Yeah.
It's a legacy sequel.
There's a couple others here that are not really. Terminator Genesis wasn't good.
I wouldn't even call that a legacy sequel because all the movies and shows that come before it, there hasn't been in my mind, a legacy sequel is something that's had a large gap of time before you get a new one.
Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Independence Day Resurrection. Or Resurgence, which people didn't. I didn't see it, but apparently it wasn't great. Not Crystal Skull. Dial of Destiny.
You could almost include Crystal Skull in that.
You could.
I would say Crystal Skull, actually. Yeah, because Dial is more of a sequel to Crystal
Halloween. Skull. But obviously you haven't seen that yet.
But anyway.
Mary Poppins Returns.
Even the list that we've given, I would still say Afterlife is super up there. Best job.
Yeah.
Like, pays homage to the original and sets the stage for a new generation at the same time. What? You laughing at my...
No, you could. It's on this list, and I don't agree, but you basically could call Avatar: The Way of Water a legacy sequel.
I suppose.
Took so damn long.
Yeah. Not really. Awesome. That'd be a tough sell for legacy sequel.
All right.
But yeah, so I think my point is the Ghostbusters 2 compared to Ghostbusters 1 is a dramatic step down. Still an awesome film, but not as good.
Yeah.
I think this takes the same vein.
I would say
not as good as Afterlife, but not a bad film in the same way that Ghostbusters 1 and 2 are good and not as good.
So hot take. I'm going to give you a hot take. Of the four, this is the worst.
Okay.
And I want to be careful how I word this. I think this is fundamentally a less, not necessarily a worse film, and certainly not a worse Ghostbusters film. I think this is a less entertaining film. And this pains me to say this to my core. But this is a less entertaining film than the 2016 Ghostbusters, the reboot.
Really?
It's less entertaining.
Really?
I don't think it's worse than that movie, but I think it's
you
less
didn't enjoy
entertaining.
it as much?
No. And I don't really like, I don't think the 2016 Ghostbusters is as bad as everyone says it is.
Oh, I think it's garbage.
I think the thing with the 2000, where I was actually talking about this today with someone, the thing with the 2016 Ghostbusters movie, it's not a bad movie. It's funny, it's entertaining, it's just a horrible Ghostbusters movie. It's not a bad movie. It's just a really bad Ghostbusters movie because it's like not what anybody wanted from the next Ghostbusters, right? And so anyways, let's talk about
I would disagree with that statement.
That's fine.
But yeah,
let's
dive in.
Let's talk about the cast first, because the cast is where one of my issues lies.
Oh, me too. I wonder if we have the same issue.
So in the cast, we have Paul Rudd.
Yep.
Who is Paul Rudd? He's funny. I don't think he's as funny as he was in the first one.
Gary Gooberson.
Yeah, I don't think he's as good as he was. I don't think he's as charismatic or as fun or as charming as he was last time.
I would agree, but that wasn't an issue for me for his character. I think for me that was his because time has passed since Afterlife. We're what?
It's been
a couple
3 years.
Yeah,
it's been 3 years.
So
because
he's
Phoebe was 12.
Yeah.
Now she's 15.
Right. So with the passage of time, like I gotta adjust this. I gotta sit up. With the passage of time, characters should grow behind the scenes if you're going to time jump.
Oh, sure.
So for me, he's in a completely different place in life.
Kind of like
right?
Luke is by the time Force Awakens comes.
That's a different story.
40 years instead of 3.
He's trying to be a father figure. He's trying to figure out where he fits in this family. He's not the dad, but he wants to be the dad. He doesn't know where and they actually do get into that a little bit in this film as well. And I think that's why that doesn't bother me. Like he's less goofy because he's trying to be more of a healthy role model than a single summer school teacher showing kids horror movies instead of teaching them. There
was a Paul Rudd moment in this film that I knew landed for you. And like my heart smiled for you.
Oh yeah.
And it's right at the end when she calls him dad and he like gets excited about that.
Yeah.
Because you have a similar path in terms of, coming into a situation where there was a
child,
female child that, was not yours. And, you had to make that transition to her being yours.
So, and in that same vein, I just really related to Paul Rudd's character in general in this, especially this episode this iteration of this, what we got in this film.
Also,
from Paul.
That brings up the whole, and this is like, I'm just airing dirty laundry at this point and getting pissy over nothing. But I discovered this evening that your wife would not trust me to babysit your kids. And I don't know what the hell that's about.
I don't know if I'd trust you.
Here's the thing. No, that's bullshit. And that's bullshit. Because here's the thing. I give out, and I think, because your wife and I haven't hung out that much, like really.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of stories about me, right? Like there's a lot of, that sounds bad. There's a lot of legends of the shenanigans.
A lot of Brady Elishowska's folklore.
Stories of the shenanigans that you and I have gotten up to and the shenanigans Aaron and I have gotten up to. And I just feel like not actually getting a fair shake here, because when it really comes down to it, I'm not that chaotic of a human being. But whatever, she's missing it. Fine, whatever. You can't find a babysitter. Suck an egg. I don't like. It sucks to be you. Sucks to suck. We have Carrie Coon playing Callie Spangler. And I thought this time around she was a little two-dimensional. I think the first time we meet her, she has some struggles, right? She's dealing with trying to parent her children, and she is to an extent doing that in this one as well. But she just doesn't get, I don't think she maybe doesn't get as much screen time this time around, and it just she comes across as two-dimensional.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't get as much screen time. In the story overall, she takes a bit more of a back seat. I mean, so does Paul Rudd's character. Like, between the two of them, Paul seems to get a little bit more screen time. Because probably because they're fleshing out that storyline we just talked about, but yeah, she seems to take a bit more of a backseat, I think, in this story. Which, her character and does kind of suffer from, and does seem a little flat. But it didn't bother me. She's not, even though we've mentioned them first, and they're kind of. IMDb puts them as top billing. They're not really the leads in this film.
No. Then we have Finn Wolfhard, who plays Trevor Spengler. And again, like, I just felt a little more two-dimensional. Like, there just wasn't any character there. There was no character development. They
seem to try and give him an interesting storyline, but it didn't really go anywhere or mean anything.
No.
And
it's like, I'm 18 now.
Yeah. Well, I meant, like,
I want to drive.
With the whole, like, deal with the problem in the attic, right? Like, he seems to have this little kind of, like, I'm going to get you feud with Slimer in the attic.
Yeah.
Then it never really goes anywhere or comes of any importance.
No.
And that. Which, all that being said, like, we're already at number 3, and I'm not disagreeing with your take on it. Yeah. And this is somewhere you're going, but I'm going to jump the gun maybe here. They focused very heavily on a couple characters in a very large cast. So we talked about this recently. I think it was on the news episode. Or no, maybe it was Madam Web. I don't know. It was recently on one of the episodes we did. But there's only so much screen time. You've only got so much, which means you've only got so much time to tell your story, do your character development. So, yeah. It would have been nice to see Finn, for what screen time he did get, kind of use his mechanical knowledge to kind of grow and deal with problems like Slimer, potentially.
Yeah.
And they didn't, it just
doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen.
We have the wonderful McKenna Grace playing Phoebe Spangler. In Ghostbusters Afterlife, Phoebe steals that entire film. Like, she is just charming and charismatic and wonderful, and the jokes that she tells, like, she's even does a little bit of a stand-up routine in front of Gozer, and it's just, she's just wonderful. Yeah. And this time around, she was the most character growth, or most character. She gets most story in this one. But she just they just gave her the trope of, like, jaded teenager. And it wasn't, I didn't think she was as charming as she was in Ghostbusters Afterlife. I don't think the character was as well utilized and as charming and as given as much wonderful dialogue as she was last time.
Yeah. my biggest issue with her, and this is where like what you're saying is comes into play. That yeah, her character's introduced as this kind of a genius character, and kind of with genius comes personality quirks.
Yeah.
Like in Afterlife, she talks about how she doesn't process information the same as other people, and how what was it, exciting situations calm her or something like that.
No, she just kind of internalizes everything.
Yeah. Well, no, she says something about like something crazy is happening, and I think it's podcast is like, how are you not freaking out right now? And she's like, I process information differently. This kind of exciting stuff calms me.
Right.
And we kind of see that in her character here,
right.
But it's not explored to the same kind of extent that we've seen it in Afterlife, which is kind of nice, I guess, because we're not beating a dead horse. But at the same time, those were things that made her really interesting in Afterlife. And
yeah.
She comes across in this film kind of like almost non-emotive, like she did in the first one. So she feels like the same character, but not a lot happens with her, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm. We have Kumail Nanjiani, and this is the first real standout. Like he's a
firebender.
He's a fire master.
He's from the world of Avatar.
He's not,
and he's a firebender.
Avatar: The Last Airbender, you mean?
That's
yeah, but you say Avatar, and then
it's the real Avatar.
He's funny. He plays a much bigger role than I thought he was going to play in this film. He is funny, right? Just about everything that he says is funny. The thing that drives me nuts to an extent and disappoints me is that although he's hilarious, it's not, if you go back and you watch the first two Ghostbusters, it's not the Ghostbusters brand of humor, right? It's funny, but it doesn't feel like Ghostbusters funny, because Ghostbusters funny was a more sophisticated, dry, witty, sarcastic kind of humor. And in this, it's just kind of standard comedy writing.
So you feel like it's off-brand.
I feel like it's off-brand. I still think it's funny, but I think it's off-brand in terms of the type of laughs that we used to get. Like laughs that were subtle laughs, right? Laughs like Janine asking Egon, do you have any hobbies? And he goes, I collect molds, spores, and funguses. Right? Like it's a funny line, but it's not a punch. It's not like a go for the laugh kind of line, but it's still hilarious because it's just his character. Right?
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
All right. Peter Venkman saying, yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Good line.
Right? Like,
yeah. I didn't mind it. It definitely felt, now you're pointing it out, definitely felt different, but it didn't bother me. The only thing about
it felt a little Ghostbusters reboot in terms of brand of humor.
No, because the reboot was more kind of potty and crass. His was more kind of childlike and innocent, but not Chris Hemsworth's character. Like it kind of felt like that. It kind of felt like the Chris Hemsworth character, even though they're different characters. The humor he was putting forward was very innocent. Mm-hmm. Like, do you want to buy this? Oh, it's $10 and more information.
50,
$50, $60. Yeah, I mean that was good. That was good. Right? And like the kids come down. It's like, don't worry, we got your back. Okay, but is there an adult who could have my back too?
Yeah, yeah.
So it was where original Ghostbusters, I agree, was like more dry, kind of witty. His is kind of innocent and childlike. And for an adult to kind of be that way can be very humorous when played right. And I think it was played right, but yeah, definitely off brand. My biggest issue with his character would have been how quickly he mastered firebending.
Oh, I know.
Like, he's barely able to light the candle, and then all of a sudden
he's bending a proton stream.
He's bending
why is that even one of his
even
abilities?
Just like one or two more scenes where he's showing some form of progression.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we go from him kind of the first time he does it pretty instinctively and naturally. But then he has trouble lighting a candle from the Zippo lighter, right? Just give us like one scene where he's like, oh, he does it with a little bit more trouble. And then the next scene is when he sits down in front of everybody and podcast is like, hey, do it. And he show him doing it pretty easily.
Yes.
Right? Like, that would have made me have more confidence that, okay, he's picking it up very quickly. And then when he's put in a stressful situation, it just kind of really comes naturally. I think that would have played a little bit better. And you could have cut a lot of other stuff out of this to really, like, there was other stuff you could have cut to add a sort of a short another training clip.
Next up, we have Patton Oswalt, who fits really well into the Ghostbusters universe. Like, it's a casting that makes sense.
Yeah, especially as a nerd in the basement of the library.
New York Public Library, right? Yeah, he's not in it much, but I don't have any complaints about his role in this film.
When he first showed up, I was like, what? Really? Why is Patton Oswalt here? But then,
because it works.
Like, within minutes, I was just like, okay, no, he fits.
Yeah.
He fits the billing.
We have Celeste O'Connor back from Ghostbusters Afterlife as the now apparently entirely sex-crazed nymphomaniac Lucky. Because in the course of 5 minutes,
she's an adult now.
She goes from like, oh, nipple picture, like, oh, to like, oh, sex dungeon, to like, oh, no one will hear it. Like, she just like full on, all of her jokes in this are sex jokes.
Yeah.
And it felt weird. That felt like because it's like, it didn't make me uncomfortable. It just made me go like, huh? It's
weird that she's even here.
It is. And both
like,
her and
you're telling
the next,
me her dad let her be here?
Yeah, the sheriff let her leave.
The sheriff's dad let her come work for the Ghostbusters?
Her and the next actor, Logan Kim, who plays Podcast, they both feel like they're just here because they had a role in the last one.
But Podcast makes more sense. And we'll get into that in a second. Let's stay on Celeste for a sec.
Quit talking directly into your microphone. You're getting your pops and your peas, and look at me. No, don't stop touching your microphone.
Okay. There was a second in this film where I thought she was going to die. And when she didn't, I was disappointed.
Only because that would have added stakes.
Yeah. And I'm really bummed that it didn't happen. But at the same time, who's died in past Ghostbusters films?
Nobody.
Yeah. So ratings wise, like, because what's this rated? PG-13?
Yeah, probably.
Like, for her to die, it bumps up the rating, I think. Probably.
No.
Wouldn't it?
No.
I don't know.
People die and stuff all the time.
I don't know. It would have been a great moment for, like, especially the way she would have went out. right? Like going out fighting. This guy's super strong.
Dude, all 3 Lord of the Rings films are rated PG-13.
Oh, are they really? Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Yeah, she should have died.
You can get away with a lot.
The only thing, I don't know if that would have made it feel
PG-13. You're allowed to have one F-bomb and
Yeah.
still maintain your PG-13.
Yeah.
So if
that's
you can
why
drop
Guardians
it,
of the Galaxy got away.
Yeah,
with
if you can drop an F-bomb, then you can.
Yeah, there's a big part of me that wishes she would have died because it would have added huge stakes to the film. It would have made that final fight feel that much more dangerous and epic. But then there's a part of me that's like, yeah, but it's a Ghostbusters film. So I'm not sure where I land on that yet. I might need to rewatch with kind of that in mind again to really peg that down. But there's a part of me that wishes she died in that scene.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Logan Kim, who plays Podcast, again, feels a little weird that he's here.
They do a good job of explaining why he's there, though.
Because he lied to his dad and said he's at space camp.
Right. And in the end of the afterlife, him and Ray,
they hit it off.
They hit it off pretty strongly.
Yeah.
So it would make sense.
Ray's his one podcast listener.
If he's lying about being at space camp to go hang out with the Ghostbuster, it makes sense that he's hanging out in Ray's basement. Yeah,
but still, he just felt shoehorned in. They both felt a little shoehorned in.
I didn't feel like he was shoehorned in. I did feel like he didn't feel like Podcast.
And he's a useless character. What did he end up doing? Nothing.
Okay. But in Afterlife Podcast was such a fun character.
Right. But in this, he's useless. He doesn't further the plot.
He's pretty useless in the first one, too.
Yeah, but he doesn't further the plot in this one at all. In the first one, he's Phoebe's only friend in town.
I suppose.
Right? There's a narrative purpose for him.
Right.
There's no narrative purpose for him this time. There's no reason for him to be there.
That's a good point. He also doesn't feel like Podcast.
No. And he's just like, muddying the
Podcast I don't even know how I would describe it in words.
Again, he's gone
character
from
was
being
so fun.
Yeah, he's gone from being 12 to 15.
Yeah.
Which, so he's
I guess
a little less quirky and weird and
Yeah, just
Next up we have Emily Alyn Lind as Melody, the ghost.
Our fire specter.
And look, I think she does a great job in this. It just, I don't know. The whole time it was like, oh, Phoebe's friends with a ghost. I don't know. It just, we've never, I think part of the issue was we've never seen ghosts like this.
We've never had a Casper ghost in Ghostbusters.
Yeah. And like, we've never, outside of like heavy hitters like Gozer, and Vigo, we've never had a discussion. We've never heard a ghost talk.
Yeah, they've been pretty separated from what the consciousness of humanity.
And even like, you've got the library ghost and you've got the Scoleri brothers, but even the Scoleri brothers have been pretty contorted by like, they don't look like people. We've never seen like just a full-on humanoid, just like she's just a ghost. Like she's just there and can talk. And
we did get Spangler.
Yeah, but he doesn't talk.
He doesn't talk, but he is Casper friendly.
Yeah, but which implies that he can't.
But he can't talk.
Yeah. So this felt like Melody's character felt like the director not understanding the ghost rules and
A shift in lore.
a shift in lore. It felt inconsistent with the lore.
Shifting canon. Yeah. I didn't consider that until we've talked about it. I don't know how I feel about that. It definitely,
Because then Phoebe does it too. She's like, oh, now I'm a ghost and I can talk and I'm completely humanoid and everything's fine. And this is just how we look. And I don't know. I don't know. Didn't work for me fully. Like, it just kind of felt like, it doesn't feel like 1980s Ghostbusters. It doesn't feel like Ghostbusters.
yeah. And I don't think it was, diving into it, how necessary was that character then too? Like, could you, how much do you have to change the plot of this film to write her out?
It was a friend in need for Phoebe when she got benched.
Right.
And it was
a way to let out the big bad.
It was a deception thing it was a way to let out the big bad. And then it was a moment of...
It was a way to connect the firebender to...
Well, yeah, it was that. Yeah.
She was,
but it was also a way to kind of add an extra beautiful layer of resolution in the end, right? This character is going to pass on to the other side.
Yeah.
And I thought she was great.
So taking what we've just kind of been talking about the last minute.
Yeah.
The character works in the film.
Yes.
Right? There's lots of setup, lots of foreshadowing for things that get paid off later, like the matchbook, and then she died by fire, and then that fire is what saves the day, and it kind of plays with more than, like, all those things kind of work with more than just her character. They kind of work for other characters, and so they work with the film really well. Yeah. It's the talking thing, I guess, that's the real linchpin in the conversation.
But then how do you do it if she's not talking?
The question then is that can be posed about the universe of the Ghostbusters is, we've seen lots of bad ghosts. We've seen lots of ghosts that are kind of just muddling about their day.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily harmful. We've seen friendly ghosts, Spengler.
Yeah.
The question would be, just because we haven't seen it, does that mean it's not possible within the world? Right?
Spengler would have talked.
We got 3 films. He would have talked, but did they choose to, like, in the creation of the film, they could have made the easy choice to have him talk.
It wouldn't have been easy because Harold Ramis is dead.
They still could have made the easy choice to have him talk and have somebody else who's got a similar voice him.
Yeah.
Right? Whether he's dead or not, that's not the problem. The problem is, as friends of Harold Ramis, does the director and co-stars and writers who are creating this thing want to not choose to not have him speak out of some creative / honoring of the actor?
Sure, but then where's the narrative purpose for that? You still need to tie it in and make it make sense within the world.
I'm not disagreeing with that point, but just because he doesn't talk doesn't mean that other ghosts don't.
No,
Like-
but this girl is clearly the same class and the same type of ghost.
Look, so Gozer's not a ghost. So of course Gozer can talk.
Gozer's a ghost.
Gozer's a god.
The ghost of a god. In Ghostbusters, in Ghostbusters Afterlife, Gozer is contained in the traps. Gozer's a ghost.
Okay.
It's Ghostbusters.
Interdimensional being, potentially interdimensional being.
Vigo was a Carpathian god. Still a ghost. Still a ghost. A ghost possessing this painting.
I thought in the second one he was just a man.
Well, no, he was
never a god.
Yeah,
he was
was
just an evil dude.
Dude, I watched it like a week ago.
Really?
Yeah, he was a god. He was a Carpathian god.
Oh, okay.
Vigo the Carpathian. He lived to be hundreds of years old and was executed like 15 times, or he died like 10 times.
Okay. I don't know. I still think it's possible, like the possibility that there are ghosts out there who can speak and there are ghosts out there who can't is still.
Anyways, we're getting hung up on this.
It's still a probability, right? I'm not
it's a
disagreeing with your point. I'm just proposing that it is possible that in this universe there are ghosts that can talk, because we haven't, in terms of like ghosts we've seen, we haven't really seen like 20 to 40 ghosts in total that we've seen them interact with in a way where they have the potential to talk.
But she's still clearly the same type of ghost that Egon was. And so that is where you get a little bit of a
shush. If the librarian can shush, then
whatever. All right. Moving on. We have James Acaster as Lars Pinfield. He's the sort of the head of Zedamore's ghost research facility. I think he's entertaining in this. I don't have any issues with him per se. I do have an issue with the whole ghost research facility at large, but that's something we'll get into when we're not talking about cast.
Okay.
So, but I don't have an issue with him. I think
he's a fun addition.
Entertaining. Yeah. Bill Murray. Every moment Bill Murray has in this film is great. Every line he has is perfect. He's not given as good of a role as he was in Ghostbusters Out. His lines aren't as good. He doesn't have any lines that flop, but he doesn't have as many great lines.
Well, yeah, and like Afterlife, he also doesn't have that much screen time to the opportunity to deliver great lines.
But even in Afterlife, right, when he's talking to Gozer and he's like, you and I could have been such a great power couple. We could have been, we always had to, you have to maim and you have to root, right? And he just doesn't, he's got the tall, dark, and horny line in this one, which we saw in the trailer. This is kind of it. Right? Like the whole throwing the pens thing at Kamal, that was great.
Yeah, that was really fun. That was a really great scene because he is
he's doing it for a reason.
He realizes almost immediately what happens.
Yeah. So, I don't think he was given as much opportunity to shine in this one.
Oh yeah.
As, Yeah.
And that might be intentional in that they're trying to let others.
Yeah, but shine. You know what? We're 2 legacy films in, and I still just want a OG Ghostbusters film. Like, I just want the 3 remaining Ghostbusters on screen, right? Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd is in this a bunch.
Yeah, he's got a lot of screen time.
And this pains me to say, but I more and more just feel like Dan Aykroyd is, and this is something I've felt for years, and I think anyone who's heard him talk in interviews and whatever, kind of maybe would get the same impression. He's always been a weird guy, but I don't think Dan Aykroyd is great in this. I love having the character of Ray back. I think he was great in Ghostbusters Afterlife, right? The whole, like, as a duly appointed member of the, whatever, and Ducks Unlimited and, whatever.
Member Barry line.
Yeah, it was great. And the whole, are you a god? Right? Like, and he's like, Ray. Oh, come on, Ray. Right? Like, that was great.
Yeah.
And in this, it's just kind of, he's got some good lines, and yes, it feels like Ray, sort of.
It feels like Dan Aykroyd if you've watched it.
But it just feels like Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Right? It feels like Dan Aykroyd, not so much Ray.
So, yeah. So here would be my 2 cents on it. It feels like Dan Aykroyd just being Dan Aykroyd. If you've watched interviews with Dan Aykroyd, there's a great Joe Rogan had him on not that long ago, and I listened to almost all of that podcast episode, and Ray felt like Dan Aykroyd from that podcast.
Yeah,
like the two of them on that podcast pretty much just talked about paranormal and UFOs, and that's what this felt like.
Yeah,
and Dan Aykroyd plays a big part in writing Ghostbusters. And so this character he probably wrote for himself so that he could ham that up. And I feel like...
but he's no longer writing.
Well, I feel like with his kind of age, his give a tank has run empty, and now you just really want me to spend all kinds of time editing this podcast, don't you? He's just
like, why?
Hey, we're PG-13. We're allowed one.
No. Yeah, but we're not. According to Pete, we're just PG.
He's cut loose. Like, he doesn't care what people think of him.
Yeah.
And it really does just feel like him. I wouldn't doubt it if the stuff in that shop he brought from his house.
Maybe. Next up, we have Ernie Hudson back as Winston Zeddemore.
Philanthropist and rich billionaire somehow.
He's fine. He's not in it much. He doesn't have many lines. And
I love the IMDb photo of him. Like just flexing hard on big muscles. Chair.
Yeah, he's not in this a whole lot. But the moments he's in, like, he feels the most like him and Peter feel the most like their original characters. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, like
the natural progression of where they would be now.
Winston's kind of a salt of the earth kind of guy.
Yeah.
So when he's trying to talk Peter in some common sense into Peter and telling him to live his glory days and step back from
to Ray, you mean?
Hunting ghosts. Was it to Ray? Yeah, it was to Ray. Yeah.
These are supposed to be your golden years.
So he felt like a salt of the earth kind of guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Annie Potts is back as Janine Melnitz. Always good to see Janine. Doesn't make any sense to give her proton gear and include her in this fight. Makes zero sense.
She hung around him enough, she probably learned how to use it.
Yeah, but
like when everybody's backs are against the wall and you got an extra proton pack, stick it in every free hand.
Some proton wrist rocket thing. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it was worth it just for Bill Murray's line of, Melnitz in uniform, right? Like
Yeah.
that's a great line. But yeah, aside from that, she's not in it much.
I mean, when oh man, I can't remember his name from the second film. What's his name? Ends up gearing up.
Oh, Louis Tully.
Yeah, Tully ends up gearing up and running down the street, and
Yeah. Think fast, make good decisions. Happy New Year.
so it's no different from that.
Yeah, but Janine gave him that, right? Like nobody. I mean, at that point, he was doing the books, right? He was the Ghostbusters accountant in the second one, and legal
she's
attorney,
the secretary.
and legal attorney. William Atherton is back as this time Mayor Walter Peck.
How does this guy become mayor?
Well, he was already in the government.
Yeah, but
He was a EPA.
he's a dick. You can't tell me enough people in New York City like that guy to vote for him.
I don't know. He's fine. A fun little addition. Makes sense to have him there. He's not a massive plot point. I don't know if you heard someone. I don't know if it was someone in our theater or someone in the crowd at the end when the crowd's there and the press is whatever. But someone yelled "Dickless," and I don't know.
Come on, Dickless.
I don't know who it was, but it was a great moment.
I heard that too. I'm pretty sure it was from the movie.
And that's kind of it as far as a big notable cast.
I mean, yeah.
I do want to talk about two things that are disappointing to me. And I don't know enough, and I don't say this very often about films like this, but I don't know enough about the production of this film to really comment on the whys of this. But regardless of the whys, it's still disappointing. Number one, it's a shame once again not to see Rick Moranis back as Louis Tully. Now, Rick Moranis famously retired from acting years and years ago. His wife passed away. He stepped back from acting to raise his children, stuff like that. His kids are all grown up now, right? And so he could get back into... Now, I don't know if nobody asked him or he was asked and he said no. Regardless, it's just disappointing. Would have been nice to see in any capacity, even if it's not a Ghostbusters film, it'd just be great to see Rick Moranis back. Mm-hmm. But would have been great to see him in this. Obviously, he doesn't appear. It's a shame. The other one. We got only as a tease in a post-credit scene in Afterlife. And again, I don't know if they weren't asked. I don't know if they were asked and they said no. I really felt the absence of Dana Barrett, or presumably at this point, Dana Venkman in this film. Sigourney Weaver. Right. It just seemed like a much more, and I guess, because they're focusing so little on the original team, I just want to see, I want a film where Dana and Peter are navigating married life and Ray, and they all have to come back together and save the city again. And right. Because in this, the original Ghostbusters, in that final fight scene, useless. They're useless. They didn't do anything. They really didn't play a role. At the end of the day, they really didn't. Ray figures out how to. He's smart enough.
He figures out how to make the mega trap.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's pretty pivotal.
Yeah, it is. I don't know, but so those were the two omissions. People I would have loved to see back that we didn't see back.
Yeah,
it was a shame.
Yeah, I would say I could do without the other. Rick Moranis, I think, would have been a nice touch.
Yeah. It would make sense. It would make sense to see Dana.
If he's doing the books for
Oh, he's not. I mean, the Ghostbusters have been shut down and opened up and shut down.
No. He could still be. He's an accountant, right? Who's a big shot billionaire philanthropist? Wilson.
Oh God, there's no way. There's no way Louis Tully is doing Winston's books.
Why not? Come on, he's a smart. He's a clown. He locks himself out of his apartment all the time. That doesn't mean he's a bad accountant.
We don't know that he's a good accountant. He's a bad attorney.
In my headcanon, he's an amazing accountant.
Oh, okay.
But he's a crap everything else.
This film was not directed by Jason Reitman like the last one was. And I think it shows. I think it was a shame. I think the first mistake that Sony made with this film was not securing Jason Reitman as the director again. The guy that does direct it, Gil Keenan, has a writing credit on the film. He directed and wrote it. He also has a writing credit on Ghostbusters Afterlife. Jason Reitman does have a writing credit on this film. I don't know to what capacity that is. But, you know, there you have it. Where to go from here? We brought up the whole ghost research facility thing. So let's talk about that. I don't like it.
Really?
Listen, I understand that the Ghostbusters have funding now because of Winston, and that it's been 30 years and Winston's got all this money and he's going to take and grow the business and do it. But like, part of the charm of Ghostbusters, part of what always made Ghostbusters feel so special was that despite the fact that, yeah, they have this containment system and the fact that what are you doing? Stop rubbing your feet on the ground. Why do you hate me?
You can't hear that, can you?
I can hear it in my headphones, which means the listener will be able to hear it. So just stop. Just sit still. And your wife doesn't trust me. For 3 minutes of your life, just sit the hell still. No, the thing about it is, I think that, you know, despite the fact that they had these traps and they had the containment system and they had these, you know, nuclear accelerators strapped to their backs, the Ghostbusters were always relatively low tech, right? They were kind of F around and find out. Like, it was kind of...
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say low tech. They're obviously very high tech. Like, compared to the rest of what New York is working with, they're high tech. But they're low budget.
Yes.
Right? They're finding an old beat up Cadillac and fixing it up.
Yeah, the old ambulance.
They're finding an old run down fire department to call home.
Oh God, which apparently, and they retconned canon. They retconned the first, like, in this film. They're like, oh, it's like the firehouse, they didn't just choose because they liked it. They chose because the firehouse has this history and it serves as the finger in the hole, or the finger in the dam, the plug between the worlds and the did you catch that?
I think you're misunderstanding that line. I didn't take that line to be what I think you're taking it to be. You understood that to be like that the reason they chose it in the first place?
She said, we didn't just buy the firehouse because of its location, or no, we didn't just buy the firehouse because of its charm or whatever she said, right? She said, one of the other reasons we bought the firehouse is, like, she's talking about the rifts between worlds and how, you know, stuff is able to leak through and whatever, and that this building, this firehouse acts as the the finger in the dam that prevents. She says, we didn't just buy the firehouse. And it's like, you weren't even there. They hadn't even hired you.
Is that
You
her
don't-
or
yes.
Winston?
No, it was Annie Potts. It was Melanie. And it's like, you weren't even there. They hadn't hired you yet.
Maybe
They didn't know you.
I think we must be remembering that differently. I wonder if that line is, because I remember the line being more along the lines of, we didn't stay here. Because after the first one, the roof got blew off, they could have moved. But they chose to stay because it had become a connection between worlds, and them staying there was keeping the finger in the hole of the between the two worlds.
See if I can find the quote. See if someone's already. It was the 80s. No one was worried about the future. It's a great line.
Yeah, because I definitely I know the line you're talking about, and I remember hearing it differently.
Yeah, she said we didn't just buy it because
I thought it was an interesting reason for, like, this is why we stayed. This is why we haven't moved. Because then shortly after that, we get introduced to the new facility where they plan on moving all the ghosts from that place so that they don't have to worry. Because the fact that the ghost storage unit is there, that's like the finger in the hole thing.
Where are we here? Hang on. Cultural structure. Jarring. Unite as Ghostbusters is a great blah blah blah.
I don't know if you're gonna find it. It's still
no.
pretty
There's an
fresh.
article about it here.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm clearly not the only one that saw it as a big issue. Okay, perhaps in an attempt to make the Ghostbusters feel as though they have as much lore as the movie's villain, Frozen Empire keeps adding new retconned details to the original film. The firehouse that the team operates out of, for instance, is revealed to have been chosen as the HQ because it has a great spiritual significance. And the opening scene in the early 1900s has a team of, blah, blah, blah. Never mind that in, the opening scene in the early 1900s has a team of horse-drawn firefighters leaving the very same firehouse to respond to Garaka's first attack. Never mind that in 84 Ghostbusters, Egon Spangler said the dilapidated firehouse was not at all suitable for their needs, and it was only because Ray liked the fire pole so much that they chose it. Oh, come on, they don't continue on with it?
They don't have the actual quote.
They don't have the actual quote that she says. Anyways, yeah, that'll be something we'll have to sort out once it comes out and we're able to watch it and rent it and do all those things. But yeah, to me, it just
do a. What do you call it? Not a retraction? Yeah, kind of like a retraction / update.
Yeah, we can go back and
an episode, some other episode in the future about this topic. Because I seen the scene and it didn't strike me as retcon. It struck me as reason for staying.
Anyways, I didn't like that the Ghostbusters had all that gear. The full facility that's like
It made sense though. It's not like they already set up an afterlife that Winston was this new a mogul.
No, I know,
financial
for
money.
sure.
So it makes sense that
I think it makes sense.
especially after, even if he only started once Afterlife finished, it makes sense that he would start pouring money into, we need to upgrade the containment unit. We need to upgrade gear. We need to,
I think it makes sense. I just don't think it feels like Ghostbusters, right? And I think that's ultimately what I'm getting at, is that this whole film doesn't feel super Ghostbustery to me. You know? And it there's a lot of Ghostbusters Afterlife had a lot of member berries. It had a lot of fan service, but I think it was fan service that was done really well.
It was fan service that served a purpose for the most part.
This one has fan service in it that just feels like, you remember?
Well, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Stay Puft Marshmallow.
That didn't make any sense to me.
The mini
the
puffs.
Stay Puft Marshmallows.
Yeah, the mini puffs.
Yeah, because my understanding of...
Why were they not sucked into the trap?
Well, not just that. They are a manifestation of Gozer. They've always been a manifestation of Gozer. The very first time we see the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is because
that's the Destroyer.
It's still a manifestation of. It's not Gozer himself, but it's it's something Gozer manifested, right? This next time we see Stay Puft Marshmallow Minis, is a whole bunch of them, is in Afterlife. Because of Gozer.
Because Gozer's coming
Gozer's gone.
Yeah.
The Stay Puft Marshmallow Men should be gone.
Yeah.
So that bothered me. And that
Gozer's also, just in a trap. But
also, what purpose did they serve?
So is Gozer in the containment system?
And itty bitty pieces? Well, he got sucked into a bunch of different traps.
He, she...
it,
whatever it chooses to be,
along with a bunch of other ghosts.
Yeah, so I don't know. But okay,
the Marshmallow Men bothered me because I was like, why are we doing this?
Oh no, it's just a cute. But even the whole as kind of a fun, as much of a fun moment as it was, the whole library ghost thing was pointless, stupid.
The ghost in the library.
Yeah, seeing the library ghost again. It was just
makes more sense.
A quick moment. Why?
But it makes more sense than this Marshmallow Man
because
they're in the library. They never dealt with it
that we know of.
So it's like they're running through the library. That's a fun.
Yeah,
it is a member berry, but as far as like a good member berry versus like a bad distracting member berry,
yeah.
I'm okay with that one. I wouldn't say it's good. It's a good member berry, but it's not distracting.
One of my biggest and my final beef. I think my final beef. This just felt like the least epic ending showdown. The whole showdown just took place inside the firehouse. Just in the bay where the car sits. That was it. No blowing the roof off a New York high-rise. No bringing the Statue of Liberty downtown and smashing through the museum roof. No, even though the Ghostbusters Afterlife, a lot of that showdown took place at the Spangler farm. You also had the
mountain,
the Ivor Shandor mine and the mountain, and you got the Gozer Gateway portal thing all over again. And stuff, and this was just,
Yeah. The end battle felt like there wasn't a lot going on.
No.
And I would draw that back to somebody should have died. I've already named
No, but
who.
even still, if someone had died, at the end of the day, it still would have just taken place in the firehouse.
Yeah. But there would have been some stakes involved.
Yeah, but it's
like
still...
there would have been like it would have been a lot more tense when all those people everybody's pressed up against the walls trying to avoid the spikes after having somebody been spiked through.
Yeah.
Right?
But there was still just no big New York set piece. There was no kind of crazy Ghostbuster antic thing.
It would have been something like on their way back to the fire hall in the Ecto 1, them like trying to fend him off or fending off other baddies or something.
In the trailer, and it's a line that doesn't show up in the movie. It's just in the trailer. You hear Walter Peck say, back in the 80s, they supposedly Ghostbusters did this, right? But no eyewitnesses, right? And that was a weird line in the trailer because everyone was like,
what did you say they did?
That all the Ghostbusters antics, that what they did with like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and the Gozer thing and all that there was no eyewitnesses, right? And I was like, actually there was quite a few eyewitnesses.
Yeah.
And then come Statue of Liberty time, there's like a lot of eyewitnesses. That whole no eyewitnesses statement has never been more true than it is in this film. There was no eyewitnesses. In fact, they get outside and Winston has to be like, well, guess what just happened? If it weren't for these guys, the whole city would be under 3 feet of ice. Trust me, that just happened. Trust me. Trust me, it happened. You didn't see it, but trust me, there was a showdown and there was a giant ghost and it all took place inside here and none of you saw any of it, but trust me, that happened.
Yeah.
There was no threat. I mean, there was a threat, but you didn't feel the threat the same way you felt the threat with Gozer.
Yeah.
Right, where the sky's turning black and the mayor says, somebody get me the Ghostbusters.
I suppose it could be said they were trying to, throughout this film, they're trying to make the station a set piece. They were trying to build it up. Because we explored it more in this than we ever have before.
Okay, great.
So
what?
I don't know.
So now we've seen the attic.
Like, well, how do you defeat this guy outside of how they did it?
Make it a big outside showdown.
But how do you defeat it?
I don't know. Put Karaka on the roof for.
But how do you trap him? He's a powerful demon.
But the thing was still...
traps don't work.
No, but the thing was still in the basement. You just move him 2 floors up onto the roof. It'll still suck him down through.
But you're still at the fire hall.
Yeah, but at least it'd be outside and it'd be a set piece and you'd be able to see more of the weather's changing and the buildings around are crumbling and something as opposed to just like, we're in the firehouse and the power's out. And, actually the power wasn't even out because they were able to use the trap. Right? Like it just is something.
It's probably got its own power source.
Something bigger, right? Something. So that was, I don't know, I didn't like that. And the whole, like, the ecto cycle thing. What the hell was that?
Oh, man.
I don't know. Like,
goofy.
Everything. And then, I don't know. I was wildly disappointed. That is my review, because Brianne asked me when we got out of the theater, she's like, so what'd you think? And those were my 2 words: wildly disappointing. And it's like, I've seen a lot of people, the film's getting negative reviews. I'm not the only one. And I still went into it. I put all of that aside going into it, and I went into it super optimistic, excited, ready for the next Ghostbusters adventure. And I, there's a lot of people now who are talking about like, well, maybe it's time for the Ghostbusters to hang up the proton packs as a franchise. Like that's maybe we're done, right? Maybe we're done. And I heard all that going into the film, and I thought, well, gee, I hope not, because it's Ghostbusters, right? Like it's fun. It's fun that we're still getting these movies and stuff, and part of me, like during the movie, I was asking myself, I was like, well, are we done? Like, I don't know, maybe we're done. Maybe we don't need any more Ghostbusters. But then also there's a part of me that's like, but Afterlife was so damn good that like, if we're done now, then I'm sad that this one was made, because Afterlife just felt like a great swan song then.
Yeah.
Right? Would have made a great swan song. But then now you've got this tacked onto it.
Did you watch the video I sent you and Pete on Matrix Resurrection?
No, not yet.
The way you're talking makes me go, man, if only Resurrection sucked balls.
But it did. Ghostbusters Resurrections did suck balls. It was horrible.
What? No.
Yeah. Oh, Resurrections or Matrix Resurrections.
Oh, well, I said Afterlife.
Afterlife.
If only Afterlife sucked.
Oh, why?
The way Matrix did. Without getting too far into it, the video I sent Brady and Pete was a guy theorizing that Matrix Resurrections was made horrible on purpose so that the studio wouldn't touch the series again.
But that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
Why? Why would you purposely flub a film?
Well, it's because it's your creation. You've made your trilogy. You've told your story.
Right. So you're not going to burn it down.
As a creative, you don't want to make any more. You've told your story. There's nothing else to tell in your mind. But the studio owns the rights, and they say, well, we're going to make another one anyway. And you go, well, I don't want you wrecking my franchise, so I'm going to watch it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it bad, so you can't touch it, or you don't want to touch it again.
Okay, question.
It's something I've seen happen before, where a creative creates something awesome and people love it, and then people want more, but the person who created it, they don't have any more to give in that area because they've told the story they want to tell. But people, or executives in the case of Matrix, won't leave well enough alone. So they keep telling the story. But they tell because they've gained some form of control, they burn it down instead of giving you what you giving in to what people want, because there is no more story to tell. They're not going to give you what you want because there's nothing for them to give in that area.
Yeah, but the problem with that theory is that it also, like, if you're a director, right, it also damages your reputation as a director.
You have to watch it. I don't think if it's a property you care about, you don't care. I don't think.
Oh,
the other strong
kills your career.
The other strong comparison that it associates when I watched that YouTube video, the other strong comparison I kept coming back to in my mind was the Llamas with Hats series. You've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
So the Llamas with Hats series had a short run. It was very popular, and the writer and creator of that show apparently was just continually inundated with, like, when are you going to make more? When are you going to make more? When are you going to do another one? When are you going to make more? And he ended up making another 6 or 7 or 8 videos, and they were garbage by comparison.
Right.
I watched a video essay of a guy kind of breaking down things that the creator had talked about, and the story that was being told in that second half of Llamas with Hats, and pretty much coming to that kind of conclusion. Like, he didn't want to make this. He made it not bad, but he used it to tell a story about, like, when you keep trying to push somebody to make something they don't want to make, it's not going to be as good. You're not going to enjoy it as much. And that second half of Llamas with Hats is kind of tells that story. And I see it, and I think I cannot, like, I'm not a super creative person, but I could see somebody reacting that way. Like, you're not going to, this is my baby. This is something I've created. It's my creation. And I don't want you to bastardize it. So I'm going to burn it down.
See, but that makes even less sense, because with the Llamas with Hats thing, there was no studio that was like, if you don't want to make more, just don't make more. It's your thing. It's a YouTube video. Just don't make another one. Like,
I should see if I can find
but you know what I mean? Like, with the YouTube thing,
he could easily stay away. You're right.
Yeah, just don't make another one then. There's no studio that's going to make one with or without you.
In that guy's case, it was more as a way to create, like, a social commentary on pushing creatives to do something that they don't want to do.
Yeah, but but that's pretty thick into the weeds. Like, it's all speculate. Like,
it is. They are theories,
and both of these are speculation.
Both of them are theories. Both of them were video essays on products that the person was not a part of, and he's just looking at interviews and kind of readily available material that you and I could find. But when you listen to the pieces that they put together, and I haven't seen Resurrection, but, like, watching this guy put together these pieces about, like, how in the first half of Resurrection, they're like, the movie is super meta, and that they're talking about Warner Brothers, and Keanu Reeves' character is playing a guy who made the first 3 Matrix quote unquote games instead of movies, and he doesn't want to make another one, but he's being pushed to make another one.
Yeah. All right. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. On a scale of 0 to 10.
I want to hear yours first.
I'm curious. I've never gone first.
I want you to go first. I want to hear yours first.
It's 6. It's a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Still Ghostbusters, kind of. Still good to be back in that world, but worst film of the 4.
I thought you would have, hearing you talk about it, I thought you would have given it less.
It's still Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10, and you rate it worse than, is that rating worse than what you would give the reboot?
I would probably give it about the same. For different reasons. Again, I'm not saying, I think they'd both be a 6 out of 10, but for very different reasons. Right? Now, if I'm ranking the 2016 Ghostbusters just as a film, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. If you were saying, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a Ghostbusters movie is the 2016 Ghostbusters, it would probably get lower. But yeah, just subjectively as a film, as objective as I can try to be, 6 out of 10.
Yeah. That's where I was putting it around like 6.5, 7. I'd probably land on 6.5, I guess.
And for the record, I would give the original like a 9.8.
Yeah.
I'd give the second one like a 9. I'd give Ghostbusters Afterlife like an 8.5. And this one's like a 6.
Interesting. I don't know where I'd rank the other ones.
That's fine.
Because I haven't watched the first 2 in a while. I always remember feeling like the second one wasn't quite up to the same standard. So I in my memory, I feel like I would rank it at least 2 points lower than whatever I ranked the first one.
Right.
And then Afterlife, I think, is a bump up, and then this is a bump back down.
Yeah. For me, the second one ranks so high just because, again, it's still the original crew.
Yeah.
Right. So it's still very much that feel.
You really want that nostalgia back.
I want Dana and Lewis and the Ghostbusters and,
right.
you know, and the city and,
right.
you know, and it just,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want them back the same way a lot of people don't want Rey and they want Luke.
No, because Luke's dead. And I can accept that.
I feel like you misunderstand.
Dude, you got to start looking like face me. You're talking directly into your microphone. I'm going to send you that video. I got to send you a video. You're seriously, you're a year and a half into this now and you still suck. And as I'm doing that, you're like why?
Because
focus. Act professional with this, please. Put your hand down. What are you about to do? Put your hand down.
I'm pointing at you.
You're shortening my life.
People, for the sequel trilogy of Star Wars,
yeah.
My point is people didn't need or want new. They would have been happy and wanted the originals. They wanted Luke and Han and Leia and Chewbacca. They didn't want them split up and killed off.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
And I would say that the sequel trilogy feels less Star Wars-y to me than the original trilogy and even the prequels. So I feel the same way about the sequel trilogy that I do about these newer Ghostbusters films. For sure. Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all listed down below. Check out our Patreon page, where for as little as $1 a month, you can support the show and get some fun stuff in return. This week, Carl and I are going to do a Patreon bonus episode where we talk about the
world's greatest
inventions. Yeah, more on that to come. And we have merch.
Stuff. Like, we don't have shoes. We should get some shoes.
Yeah? Proton packs. We should sell proton packs.
Frisbees.
So we can get sued.
I've heard Frisbees. You know, what's his name? Mark, the YouTube guy, the engineer.
Mark Rober.
He describes the way Frisbees work as a jetpack. We need Frisbee jetpacks.
Okay.
Yeah.